All right, thanks for tuning in, y'all. We meet the shoe. I'm Nina.
And I'm Sade.
Today, our podcast is about prison politics and entertainment, and we will be dropping in mail call, which will give y'all a piece of information that's going on in the world that you may not know. For
Right.
starters, we would like to cover what's the first story, Sade, about the
Prisoners in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi jail.
okay.
So in Jackson, Mississippi, there were two, this is, I don't understand, 215
Mm-hmm.
bodies in jail. People that were serving time in jail, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand, or prison, bodies found in the potter's field of behind the jail, right? In
Uh-huh.
Jackson, Mississippi.
So these were these
Why?
were these were just shallow graves that they made, or what is it, like one big hole and all the bodies were in
I'm
there, or
I'm not sure. I wish they could have got more precise about it. But
okay,
Ben Crump is a lot of those parents of the deceased
attorneys,
attorneys. Yes, he just all over the place. He gonna make sure he get his coins, and
right?
he's gonna serve justice for real. You know what I'm saying? He gonna
Right.
make sure those people gonna get their just due. Because why didn't you guys officials, DOC or the prison bureaus, notify
That's the
us
body.
that our family member is dead? You supposed to
Right.
notify the family after so many days. I'm assuming after death of an inmate.
Right.
These families never got notified.
Wow.
And I'm quite sure you could have investigated if you didn't. They didn't. Some of them didn't have family. Say if they didn't have family, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They had to be calling someone, getting mail from somebody, because you
Right.
censor everyone's mail. You
Right.
censor everyone's phone call. That is quite. I'm quite sure it's always recorded. The phone
And
calls
you're on
always
and you're
recorded.
on video. You're on video recording every day,
Everything.
24
Yes.
hours a day when you're
Hmm.
locked up. So
And
I
then
don't
exactly. And then the letters they have, they do a log, a write in log on your letters. They
right.
know everybody that's writing you, so they can go
Yeah.
back to the date you received mail and
Right.
say, okay, Joe Blow wrote so and so a letter.
Yeah.
Either we censored it, we let it go through, but they did say this, this, and that.
Yep.
Summarize.
Yep. And also, say I send you a letter while you're in there, and I go to the post office and I say, hey, I did I haven't heard from my daughter, I haven't heard from my son. I
Mhm.
send them a letter on this day. It was stamped because I said, because some parents used to get that technical, go to the post office and get it stamped, right?
Yes. Hmm.
That's why now in the post office was been kind of that way, but recently with the media, they won't let you take pictures in there. You can't take
No.
pictures like if you could be slick and take
Hmm.
pictures of like the postal people or whatever, but it's supposed to be for the endangerment of the postal worker, right?
Right.
Um, a person can go inside and see what's the date that they actually sent the letter. Then, by not hearing from your loved one while they're incarcerated, um, that will cause a red flag right there. Also, when somebody is like is sick
Hmm.
or goes to the hospital, gets the release to out to the outside hospital,
Yeah.
families aren't
No.
usually informed because of back in the mafia time, right? That
Hmm.
they could get
Escape. Somebody
escape,
come
right?
get them. Hmm.
But an inmate can say, hey, mama, daddy, sis, bro, I go to the doctor on this day, and then when I get back, I'll call you. And then to think, majority of the people, whenever they last conversation with their
Station.
loved ones
Hmm.
stating that, hey,
I got
this
this
is going
doctor's appointment.
on,
Yeah.
them seem like the people that they probably were killing, because
Mm.
if they were causing a problem inside of the jail, they obviously, if 215 bodies is behind a prison, they had
Mhm.
some information that they didn't want the rest of the world to know.
Leak out, exactly. Jeff
Yeah.
said, "Hey, ladies, I'm about 1 hour away from Jackson. This is shocking, but I'm not surprised." Shaking my head. So, Jeff, can you tell us about? Do you know anything? 'Cause, Mississippi always had a problem with their prison system. Anyway, the
Yeah.
state
It
for
has been
one thing. I don't
broken
know about the
forever.
federal, but the
Yeah.
state. I mean, having nasty water and running through the prison.
Right.
mold and
Hmm.
nasty funguses growing inside of the jail
Hmm.
cells. They serving them food that's molded, old, nasty bologna or old food that's
Yeah.
not proper. You should not properly, it's should not
And
be
and when
served.
when COVID was going on, they weren't allowing them to have the hand sanitizer. They didn't have
Mhm.
enough for them. They didn't have enough
No,
gloves. They never had enough things to cover the health and the safety of the inmates.
right. Like, yeah, because they were supposed to have disposable masks, and
Right.
somebody was holding on to the same mask for months. Come on
Yep.
now, they supposed
Yep.
to that's supposed
Yeah.
to be disposed of every day, if not every other day. Come on now.
Right. They were using,
So,
they would have to use their t-shirts or
yes.
use their clothes, like cut up things and then tie it around their face to
Hmm.
secure their safety.
Yeah, and it's sad. I mean, it just I don't know. I hate.
Did you, could you tell the audience about the family? Did you get the story on the family members that were what they were saying?
They really didn't say no. They just said, their loved ones. The only reason why they knew that some of their loved ones was passed on,
Hmm.
the jail finally called them saying you can buy back your family, buy back the remains and give them a proper burial.
Oh my God.
Buy back. You have to buy back. Come on now. What do you mean by buy back? My child died in your custody. You should be paying me.
Right. Right. Because you had, because as soon as he walked into jail, you had insurance on him as soon as
Mhm.
he walked in.
Now, was that
That's what people,
Mississippi when that young man died from all the bed bugs on his
yeah,
body?
I believe so.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can a place be that infested with bed bugs? And oh, I can imagine. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I know that when the body, when a person's body is in a state or government custody,
Mm-hmm.
um it your insurance can take, like not actually go inside the
Mm-hmm.
jail or prison or whatever, but you can get their body shipped out, and that's what they mean by buy it back, right? You would
Mm-hmm.
have the insurance company,
Or
um,
if they don't have insurance, you
if
have to
they,
pay for that Bible. Because I remember when my uncle passed away in Danville, Illinois,
okay,
um, we had to get somebody to transport him. He had to be
right,
embalmed in that
hmm,
state
yep,
and then be transferred back to Minnesota.
yeah, and,
So
and they wanted you to do a part of the procedure on their
on their grounds,
on
yeah,
their grounds, yes, and then,
yes,
and that say that that is to ensure that the
he's
person
gone.
is gone, right?
Isn't that
But
crazy?
yeah,
But you know what? I don't say it's crazy because remember back in the day. Okay, it's this certain, how can I say, fish that people do voodoo with in
okay,
Nigeria.
hmm,
I remember they wrote a movie about it. It was on 2020, probably 25, 30 years ago. I was
hmm,
probably like 10, 12 years old when I saw it on 2020.
hmm,
And it is a fish. They grind it up and do a little spiritual whatever on it.
hmm,
And they made a movie about it called Serpent and the Rainbow.
right. I
You
remember that.
just
I remember
blow
that movie. Yeah.
blow that powder in a person face that they don't like,
Oh
and that
shoot.
puts them in a state of that like they're dead. So their
Oh.
body is they still alive, but
Okay.
their eyes is open. So the person think they dead because you can't feel the heartbeat or the pulse. It's
Okay.
so faint
Okay.
that you would think the person is dead when they're not. So
Okay.
one person got buried alive. It was a shallow grave. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So
And they
actually,
crawled out of it, Sade?
yes, girl, the woman crawled out of that grave, and everybody thought she was a ghost when she came
Okay.
back. It was in Africa because they don't embalm you; they just
Okay.
bury you. Right, 24 hours they bury you.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm like, maybe saying they had some cases like that. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Saying that, hey, anything can happen nowadays. And watching the world as we are in today, it's like, look, I don't put nothing past NT Bati.
Right. Right. I'll leave that for, I have a bit of information to speak, but I'll save it for the mail call.
Okay.
So the families of the 215 bodies that was incarcerated, excuse me, that was in the behind the jail while they were
Mhm.
incarcerated, um they didn't give any explanation of what happened to these people. They
Mm-mm.
just told them that they could buy them back.
Mhm.
They just, oh well, yeah, that number such and such or that name such and such is here. But
Mhm.
if there's that many bodies that's there in the grave and there's no documentation, because they don't have it documented,
No.
right? The families had to do an investigation to get the investigators to go in and look for the body. They
Yeah.
don't have any paperwork. They haven't given out any paperwork,
No.
because if they give out paperwork, then that goes back to roll those cameras back. Then that
Yes.
goes back to
Oh.
log in the DOC's log book. Who was working that day?
Oh,
Who
they gonna peel it back.
actually killed the person? Who took? Then all the officials will be under scrutiny and then possibly incarcerated as
Them
well.
se- oh,
So
there's
it's
them
all just a
17.
cover up right now,
Mhm.
because at some point somebody has to answer to the bodies, especially the bodies being at the time present in the prison,
Mhm.
right?
But you know
And
what?
then
What's the funny thing? You already know it's going all the way up to the higher ups, from the governor on
right,
down to the jail house officers. All
right,
them going to jail.
right,
All of them.
right,
It's
right.
sad.
Well, we wish the the family, like, oh my God, my
But you know, it's not
condolences.
just black parents. I seen
No,
some white parents,
yeah,
Hispanic parents,
exactly.
a
Yeah.
lot of people. So it's not
God.
say just on black Americans, African Americans. It's a mixture of different people.
And it seems as though when it was a big thing, even though that thing has not went away yet, right?
Mhm.
Organ buying or organs, right? Buying organs. The families would want, which probably, their skin and everything is gone. So there, you wouldn't, if you found all those bones in some bodies, right? You wouldn't know which of the organs that they took
Because
from
it's
them.
already
It's
deteriorated,
already deteriorated and already
liquefied,
missing.
liquefied a long time ago.
Yeah,
So now you're cooking. That could be another possibility that they got
yeah.
rid of those people.
Yeah, they had to get rid of
Throw
the
their
paperwork.
organs.
They had to get rid of the
Mm,
paperwork. They
mm.
had to get rid of any
That's
evidence
deep.
that would prove or show that they had anything to do with, which we already know that they did, because the family say that they're missing. And then you tell
Mm,
the family that they can their buy their body back. That's crazy to
mm,
me.
mm-mm,
I don't
mm-mm,
understand it.
mm-mm,
It's
mm-mm.
it's
You
sad to
said,
say, but this Mississippi, yeah, the facility I worked for wasn't that bad, I guess, because it was privately owned. Now, he has a point. One
mm-hmm.
thing about private owned though, anything that happens on a private owned, they don't have to explain.
No,
They don't have to explain. And see, the thing about private owned, they do things like
they
which
had a different
majority of the
regulation.
prisons are privately owned, right? But they have an agenda. They incarcerate the people according to what their what their
Right.
criteria is, right? So they might have like all fraud people,
Mm-hmm,
low level people, so they
mm-hmm,
can make them work,
mm-hmm.
right? Whether they're making hand sanitizer, gloves,
Right. But you know what?
license plates,
They're not really regulated by the state, so they can pretty much go by their own rules.
exactly.
They kind of stretch it, but
Yeah.
then again, they don't have to, like Appleton, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Appleton is on the cusp of Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Appleton was a prison, which they would house Minnesota people and Wisconsin people, right?
Okay.
And they were getting people from Washington, I'm hearing,
Oh, okay.
different states
Right.
who stay in their prison. So it
Mhm.
was weird to hear, how they got people from other states in that prison. But I guess they could do that because they were privately owned.
And in Texas, right? So the minimum wage, right? You have wages
Mhm.
in the justice system, right?
Right.
So the minimum wage in the federal system is 12 cents, right?
Okay.
And so then in the state is different. But in Texas, do you know that they do not have to pay you? Up north, they have to pay you.
What? They
In
can get
Texas,
free labor?
you have to do free labor because they're housing you. So
Girl.
they're feeding you and they're housing you. So in the state and in the
Mm,
country, in this country, we are the worst. We are the worst place to be incarcerated. Where we have the highest people, we have the highest population prison number in the United States. Next Wednesday, we will do a whole statistic
mm-hmm.
list. I just listened to a documentary, and this is for 2024, right?
Right.
Where it lists all the other countries of every single thing that how they rehabilitate them in other countries versus how we rehabilitate over here. And it
Well,
said that the US is the highest
mm-hmm.
in
And
numbers.
recidivism and everything, right? And recidivism going back and everything.
Oh, and Norway is the best on recidivism rate, right? They're the best
Because nobody
country
wants going back to jail.
that nobody's going to jail back. 20%
Yeah.
in
Well, look,
Norway.
in
And they
Africa,
hold on.
Nigeria.
There's no malnourishment in the prison system from any
Mm,
inmates. Their mind is healthy when they
mm,
get released. They're physically able to go to the gym. They don't have no shoe. That's
wow.
what our
No
podcast is
shoe.
about. Meet the shoe. We hate it, right? The shoe.
Right.
They don't have no shoe. You know
Wow.
why? Because all inmates get along. The guards can play cards and be
Right.
humane with
And together.
with the inmate, right? They're
Right.
not called him inmates, they're called human beings by
Mm-hmm.
their name, Miss Jackson, Mr. Jackson,
That's
Davis,
mm-hmm.
whatever, by your name, Sade
Okay.
Nina, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not less than. They're not, and they have to go get a 2-year degree and then
Perfect.
take a psychology class
Oh man.
and a
See?
communications class to deal with people.
Okay.
This is the officers.
Wow.
So I don't know where America got this justice system from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I and as they can see,
Well,
it's
you already know.
turning
It
against
started
them.
off with putting people, the slaves, in jail after
Oh, this is
slavery.
this is worse than slavery, is what they're
Yeah,
saying. It's worse than
mentally,
slavery.
mentally, yes. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow, that's
that
deep.
the
That's a whole nother part of the show that you really have to dive deep into. You know what I'm saying? Because it's mind boggling how everybody's treated in the prison system here. You know, and then you wonder, and then it's twofold because then you wonder why people can't get out of prison and fall back into the same behavior they had before they went in and end up going back to prison. Then you
yeah.
don't give them a chance to feel like they're rehabilitated in the real world
Mhm.
because you had a triple edged sword that's going on in the United States where you can't get housing, you can't get a job, you can't get this, you can't get that because you were felon. Now I got this triple X on my back. You know what I'm saying? You can't even help me overcome that.
I
You
got
can't
a
help
big
me.
and crawl. First of all, I got to it's survival
Hey,
or
Charlie.
it's live or die while I'm in
Yeah,
here, right? I gotta
yeah,
sleep one eye open, one eye shut. When I get out, I got to beg my family, I gotta beg my friends, okay? Then on top of it makes me sad just even thinking about the things that I went through when I got out,
yes.
right?
Hmm.
Then on top of that, you get the sense of feeling you're emotional as hell.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
just
for
be
sure.
real, Sade. You're emotional
Yeah.
as hell. You're all over the place. You're
Hmm.
taking offense to what every single thing somebody's saying.
Yes, for
Everything
sure.
that the people at the drugstore might crack a joke, you take that personal. You're still thinking about it when you go lay down that night. Your
Yeah,
daughter or your son done shoot a jug at you, saying something slick to you,
yeah.
and they really don't mean it. They're just looking for affection and they're trying to get used to you again.
Yes.
You're dealing
Hmm.
with that, right? Then you got to go the next day. You got to prepare your conversation on how
Yeah.
you need to speak when you're trying to get a job or when you're at the job dealing with some bitch that you don't want to talk
Right.
to or fool
Okay.
with, right? On top of that, then you got to play fake with somebody that's either in your family or close to your family, or you have to deal with just to get on, that they want
Yeah,
to hold against you because they
yeah.
done did something for you while you was locked up, or did something for your kids while you was locked up, so you feel like you owe them something. You don't owe them shit.
Don't own
That
nothing.
it's a whole
Mind
mental
thing.
game that people don't realize. When you go do that time and when you are released, it's even worse,
It's
I feel.
worse. Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make it, to continue to make it on a daily basis. And this is years later, right? It's
Right.
way
Yeah.
many
Because
years
you still,
later.
you still think about it, still on your mind, like, dang, all this, the time I did, you know what I'm saying? Certain people weren't there for you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mhm.
And
And you have to think about that and see them when you get out and listen to their
right,
excuse about why.
right. And your family act funny. It's just a lot going on, girl. Y'all just
Yeah.
don't understand. Ricky said the U.S. prison is an industry. It's
Yes.
nothing to do with rehabilitation. Exactly, it's
And
not.
you're exactly
And
right.
they should have more programs for the people that's released out of there, because it's, you need your mindset set back on track.
Right.
You need those mental classes, coping skills, and it has to be somebody that's been in prison.
Yeah.
It can't be somebody that read a book
No.
and told me this is how you should be, because I feel that you, while you was locked up, this happened, that. You don't know nothing. I don't
Right.
want to hear your psychological book work. I
Right.
want somebody that's going to show me and pave the way out like you did. What
Yeah.
did you do to make it work for
Yeah.
you?
Definitely need a person that has examples
Yeah, that
that they
live through
actually
it.
went through.
Yeah, most
Yes.
definitely.
The guy that jumped on the judge, that everybody knows, has been going around in the news in Las Vegas, right? The
Yes.
young man that
That was when we was out there,
sexual,
right? That was
right?
that
Yeah,
Saturday when we
yeah.
was
It was that
there.
same week, yes. So the guy that jumped on the judge, one thing that she didn't do, I think that she gave, this is no, I'm laughing about it because I feel like when she was sentencing him, she was sticking a knife in too hard. She was doing a lot of judgmental things, and
Yeah,
that's what she's there for. She had a lot of slick conversation and a lot of slick talk. He said
right,
that he had mental issues.
right.
He leaps at her, but the thing what really blew me, why did it take the bailiff and the court clerk and all those officers so long to get him off of her? I didn't
It
understand.
was, it was long weekend. It was hung over from New Year's and getting ready for, or was it probably New Year's Eve? Something like that. Girl, the
Do
people was
you
hung over.
really think that do you really believe that? Because it seems like
It
it
was in slow
seems like
motion,
they
baby.
they were not strong enough. And then another,
No.
he had the opportunity to say all the things that he was saying to her. He was fed up
Yeah, he was.
because
I'm
of how
quite
she
sure
treated
he's
him.
been, he's probably been before her many times too. So as a
Well,
judge,
she asked him to come back in front of her so she could do that to him. That's why,
humiliate him.
to humiliate him. But guess what? All he would have had was 19 months
Anyway, before that,
anyway,
yeah.
right? But
Mhm.
here goes 13 new charges. He has.
Misdemeanor offense. Count 12,
Listen to this.
battery by a prisoner, a felony. Count 13, unlawful act related to human excrement or bodily fluid, a felony. All allegedly occurring on January 3rd of 2024. Do you understand? You're being charged with count 1, attempt murder, victim 60 years of age or older, a felony. Count 2, battery on a protected person resulting in substantial bodily harm, victim 60 years of age or older, a felony. Count 3, extortion by threat, a felony.
Wow.
She has went over the top because she's authority. She's giving him the max enhanced
So
version of those charges.
here's the thing. She went through 1 to 13 of the charges. We couldn't hear everything, everyone, but he has 13 charges, new charges. They made up some stuff.
Right. Oh yeah.
They made up some stuff.
Mhm.
But the weird part was, I've never known that. I think that there's a charge of which it should be if you hit the elderly, right?
Right.
Him being a younger man, her being over 60, they charged him with that for beating on her, right?
Mm.
And also, but why isn't she in trouble for antagonizing him? There should be a limit on your job, is what I'm saying. Like,
Girl,
come on now.
they love like Jeff said, these judges be belittling people. Do
Yeah.
y'all think he got his sentence worth by jumping on her?
No.
But he ain't sentenced. That's too much. Look,
He's got 19 months, Jeff.
19 months.
And
but
then he's gonna come, and then before he goes do the 19 months, they're gonna speed up that sentence.
Yeah,
he's saying not guilty, right?
but you know what? I'm telling you, this is what's gonna happen.
He's mental. He said he was mental. She knows he's mental.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, they don't try and boxcar his charges. That would be like detrimental. He's young, you know what I'm saying? He got mental issues. I think, they need to be a little more lenient, maybe.
Well, she's not gonna be the judge for the 13 charges.
Oh, I'm quite sure she's not.
They put it on somebody. She said it. They put it on somebody else, right? Okay. They're putting the sentence for these 13 charges for a new judge, which they're gonna play games with that too, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't think that there was really, I know mentally that he already said that he has a mental problem. He's already messed up now that he's facing another 5 years, let's say. Maybe, because he's gonna do the 18 months. He'll get the good time on that.
You think he should go to
he should go to jail for jumping of a woman over a woman first. We're gonna start there. He should go to jail. Mm-hmm. He should go to jail for whooping on a woman, and he should go to jail for not respecting authority. She's still a judge. I don't care. And I know he wanted to do whatever he did to her, right? Yeah. And we've all felt that way and been in that position, right?
Right.
He did not have any business hitting a woman, and definitely not a judge, right?
Right.
Does he deserve 20 years? No.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
He needs to be in some mental.
Whatever they decide, I can't say what.
I know, right?
How many years he deserved, but definitely not 10 and definitely not 20.
Right. He needs some mental health.
He needs some help.
Some therapy. Very much so.
Yeah, because somebody somewhere in life didn't teach him that you should know not to be the officer of the law.
A woman.
Of no form. And then a woman. Too, or is it the woman first and then the officer?
I think that's something to think about, because I don't know. I don't want to fight the authority. Not that maybe a woman, but not the authority.
Right, not at all.
Girl, now let's get.
And now look, speaking of jokes, would you get on them about Cat Williams? What you find out? What did you think about this long drug out interview?
That was 2.5 hours.
Okay.
I had to take it in 30 minute increments, right?
What you doing between? What would you doing in between?
Girl, look, I go clean up, do something. I said I had to think this through. You know what I'm saying? He gave a lot of different points. He's a great storyteller, and his storytelling was backed up with truth, according to some critics. It was true. He just telling his life story about what he went through in these 20
in them industry
streets. You know what they do. Right. Ms. Lunell said, "Keep me up out of it."
That's right.
I love you dearly, but keep me out of it.
Keep me out of it.
Wow. I guess he's on tour.
Yep.
He started off
tour with. Who is he on tour with?
Kevin Hart's wife. I didn't know she was a jokester.
Yes.
I didn't know she was a
stand-up comedian, Miss Tori Hart.
When this happened?
She still carries the name, baby, because she's the first wife, she said.
Oh, yeah, she can do that. Mm-hmm.
So
when did she become a comedian?
No, she's been. And they were actually, she came in a game with him.
Wow.
What everybody doesn't respect about Kevin Hart, you didn't put your baby mama on. You didn't put your baby mama on. Who have you put on since you've been in the game? That's what their beef is, what they're saying. When you get put on, you pull other people in. Along the way, you put people on. Right?
But you know, a lot of people don't know. Cat Williams done a lot for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Break that down. I've been seeing it all over the thing about.
Yeah, he never broadcasted. I didn't even know he was taking care of Lil Boosie.
Yeah, he said it.
I did not know that. He was in prison. It took,
Boosie said when he got out, he had given him 15 grand, and he said he hadn't seen him to hug him and tell him thank you. He has not seen him yet, but he said that. Then also, what was it? Corey, the one that always calls women bitches, right? That comedian from Chicago, right?
right. Oh yeah.
Oh, but he kept it so real. He
Mhm.
said everybody that's on Wild 'N Out ain't making no money. They was making about $20 or $18 an hour.
Stop it.
He said Kevin Hart, I mean, excuse me, Cat Williams came in and made it rain on the set, and he was like a bitch, them are his words, and got down on the floor and got about $800 off the floor. He said he made it rain through the whole thing. And everybody was grabbing money. He was grabbing money like a bitch.
Okay, like them girls. I would have too.
So I mean, another guy talked about how I want to say it was Mark Curry. One of them talked about how they needed some money, and Kevin told him like, "Thank you, here you go," and gave
Cat Williams gave him the money.
Cat Williams gave him money. Jacquees,
Oh.
Jacquees, the artist, he said he would do shows, and Kevin Hart joked. I mean, excuse me, dang, I keep saying that. Cat Williams joked on him and said, "Hey, that wardrobe can't be messed up. Here you go." Gave him thousands of dollars to fix his wardrobe. Said his fronts got to be together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of people were mad at him when he talked about casting for Ice Cube's movie Friday After Christmas. You know,
Money Mike for
Money Mike, and so Ricky Smiley is like, I didn't. He did the Christmas. The Santa Claus,
right?
But Ice Cube did say he was not lying. This is what happened.
Right.
So Ice Cube backed him up.
His long 9-minute conversation with trying to explain himself, and then he's like, "Oh, it's been 20 years."
He's so, trying to remember now.
He was trying to be as accurate as possible.
Yes.
But guess what? Nobody has receipts on what he said.
No. Nobody really denied what he said. They just tried to clear some things up. You were right.
Yes,
they were trying to clear up everything he was saying. Ain't no clearing up. Y'all did it. It was in the past.
Yeah.
He telling it.
Yeah, he's telling
it.
Definitely.
He said how many parties he went to P. Diddy's, or P. Diddy wanted him to come to the party. He said no.
Yeah, nope. He said he had to protect his virgin butt.
Virgin booty hole in his mouth.
That's right. I don't blame him. But he didn't go into no big old detail about it. But they all say that about him.
He could have went in real deep. He just didn't say nothing about it. He could. He done seen some stuff.
There's no reason or place for him at none of Diddy parties. So why go? Right.
Yeah,
I think that also his what he did was a really respectful thing to take Kevin Hart's baby mom on tour.
Yes.
Because Kevin Hart never put her in a position for her to win. And it ain't his job, but it is his job.
Right.
It's her job to get her put on, but he could have opened up some resources. And who's to say that he didn't? But it don't look like he. From the outside looking in, it don't look like he did.
It don't look like it, right?
And we don't know of anyone that he's put on. He could have put people on, but all these people constantly talk about how Cat Williams put them on. Cat Williams helped them out. Cat Williams, brought them from down to up, right?
Right.
So even Hazel E.
Yeah, Hazel, and then they had a bad breakup, and
they had a bad breakup, but she said, "Honey, he bought me a Rolex. He's a great guy. He's a good man. He did unbeknownst things that she didn't even want to go into that he done for her.
Yeah,
he definitely helped her with her career on how to do for Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, exactly.
He definitely made sure right now that she's able to secure any kind of bag because he just sprinkled her with so much knowledge.
Exactly.
So I mean, if Tory Hart is on Cat Williams' team, She's gonna win.
She's gonna
Definitely.
win. Yeah,
I
she's gonna do
mean,
well. But you know, I thought Minnesota was gonna have the date of April 5th, right? Am I
right,
right?
right. Yeah, that's your
I
day.
don't see it. I don't see it on the roster, so I don't think we solidified the date yet.
Okay, so
Because I
maybe
think
the
it's supposed to
people,
be
hey,
in
you know how
Milwaukee.
that be. Somebody didn't pay that money all together yet. They ain't run that money yet.
Yeah,
Once
they
they
run
finish
that
this check,
dollar.
he'll be here because he likes it here.
Yeah.
He'll
Mm-hmm.
be here.
Mm-hmm. So we gotta get our tickets. I tried to look last night. I didn't see it. I said, okay, I'll make sure I get our tickets though.
Right, because he's gonna go in on somebody and
Yes,
somebody
he
and
is.
somebody. So we want to be in the front seat.
Yeah, we want to be in front row. Look, I'm like, it's my birthday.
That's right. That would be a good party to
Yes,
party
it
to,
would.
right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But
You want to
yes.
close us out?
Yes. So everyone, thank you for listening. This is our first week on since the new year. And we just want to thank everybody for giving us a good year last year. We greatly appreciate it. We did some little recaps last week because I was away for my wedding, 25th silver wedding anniversary with my husband. So it's been
That's
25 years.
right. Congratulations.
I know. Thank you. And everybody showed up that, love me and I love them. Hey, the people that were there, that's who was there. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
all that matters. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. And it's a good start.
It was very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Very beautiful.
And I was like half stepping at first. I didn't want to do too much, and I didn't want to do this.
Why? It was your day.
It just folded like it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you guys for tuning in to Meet the Shoe. Please like and share our content. Tell everybody about it because we're trying to get our numbers up this year.
That's right.
Increasing.
We need viral. Bring the viral in.
Bring us viral. You know what I'm saying? So we want to thank you guys. You have a great rest of your evening. See you